Hello. Yo, what's going on, Charlie? Give me a sec. So what chart are we going to do first? And also, let me figure out how to share this with YouTube, with Twitter. Okay. Beautiful. I think we're going to do BBIG first. No idea what it is. Let me mute that. No idea what it is. Okay. Should be doing good. I got chat over here. You can see everything. And got my charts here. Got my protein drink. Holy, this thing's running. So first thing, you always want to look at the biggest picture. It's already ran to 9, so that's something we want to take note of. And then we're going to draw some major support and resistance lines just from the largest fractal that we'll look at, which today will be a day chart. So we have a 605 and a 904 for resistance, and then for our major support line, we're going to see which ones are intersected the most. So 420. And then from here, we're going to draw some trend lines. I also am going to look at a week chart, so it doesn't even matter. We do want to keep this here just because this will come into play. Back to our day chart. So now we have 3 resistance and support lines and 1 trend line. There's not really an intraday trend just because we just popped out of this bearish channel here. So this is the channel that we just broke to the upside. So now we're going to draw another support line at 531, which lo and behold is exactly where the stock ended for the day, and then it started to run in after hours. So there's a lot of love to this stock right now, and you can see that because it's running into after hours. The next thing I want to look at is if it has a if it has an options chain. It does. It's the weekly. The monthlies only though. And the highest strike on it is 7.5, and it's already trading above there. So they're gonna have to add a new series to the options chain, which means that this stock will keep running. Is my consensus on that, but that's definitely not financial advice. Can you guys hear me and see me? Is everything going okay? I don't use YouTube often. This is BBIG, which is Vinco Ventures. I have no idea what they do. I do keep a few studies on my chart. One of them is the average volume. The other is if it has a gap, which you can't see because we're showing after hours, and if the gap was filled, and then just the VIX. I like to see the entire fear level of the market just because that pans into everything. So The next thing we want to look at is some smaller picture stuff, just because we started with our day chart. Now we're going to go down to an hour chart, and we're going to draw some channels. This is very steep, right? So it probably won't hold forever. So tomorrow when it opens, I anticipate that it'll go up, reject off of this box here, and then come back down to its ending level. So probably somewhere around here. So we'll do something like this. And then this is where you'd kind of want to enter, is if you could get back in towards these numbers. And then the stock should be able to run to our next point, which is 9.4, the all-time high. And when it breaks that, it starts to just kind of fly. So going back to our day chart, or I'm sorry, there's one more. Go to our week chart to see that. $11.63. Yeah, so for BBIG, I'm looking for a move if it continues the bullish trend. I would trim at 9.4, and then if it breaks through with conviction, I would let it run the rest to 11.63. There's not really a point to do any Elliott wave on this, just because it's not really going to help us at this point. So I guess we can, right? So this is our 1 down. 2 would be up, and then 3 extended. 4, 5, right? And then now we're working into a new channel, a bullish channel. So 1 up, 2 is down, but we're entering into 3 now. 3 is the strongest wave of the bullish channel. It should bring us back to an all-time high in the next couple weeks. Not financial advice, but yeah, this actually looks really wonderful, and it has an options chain to play. Low volume. Let's see if I can fix that. That's not it. Does this turn it up or down? Did the volume go up with that or down? Down. Okay, I'll turn it the other way. Yeah, that's the volume you guys get. I can try to speak up a little bit, but that's the max on everything. Sorry. It's up. I turned it back. I fixed it. Relax. That's good. So now we'll go back. It went down? No, come on now. We're good. So now we're going back to our day chart. We have our Elliott wave count here. We're in wave 2 of a bullish push. So we're about to finish wave 2 here, and then enter into wave 3. 3 should end us somewhere around here into the all-time highs, and that's probably going to be a little closer because it is a squeeze stock. So sometime in the next couple weeks, this thing should pop to the 11s. And what are we going to do for the next stock? Let's get our real pivot zones down. If you guys want to write them down, we'll go back to our 1 hour real quick. I anticipate that we push up in after hours. Depending how high we push up, if we break through the 9.4 before after hours, all hell's loose. It'll go right to the all-time high. If we hold at the 9.4 resistance or 8.84, it'll probably bounce back down to these levels. So 2 options, right? One is if it doesn't break through this trend line and this resistance line here, it'll reset down back where it finished. The other option is if it gets massive bullish volume, it's going to probably open at a 9.4. And then if it opens at 9.4, it's going to profit take down. So if it opens 9.4 to profit take down and then continuate, and if it opens here, it'll profit take down and then continue. So both ways will probably lead to a bullish continuation, but my anticipation is this. And I would want to enter around the $7 mark. So I'll put alert here at 7 and then create an alert with it by, you're not going to be able to see this because I don't know how to do that yet, but it'll create the alert, and then if it goes below it, at or below, it'll give me a little indicator, and then I'll be able to jump in and enter. Next chart, we can do support. So I counted 5 waves down, which isn't really a good thing for the bulls. So I'm going to go to a tiny chart just to show you what I was seeing. What I'm looking for when a stock's running is a volume divergence. So you see how this got us to an all-time high, and then we started seeing less volume. And then all of these bullish pushes, those are liquidity pulls. So when we got to here, I warned everyone that it was going to go down to 39. And that was if it was going to be an ABC down. But it was actually a 5-wave push down. So that's when I got my 28.9 number. And lo and behold, we went down to 25. But this is an ABC up, which is a little different. So 1 is down. All right, start all over. So this is just going to be an Elliott wave 1 just because it's super fun and easy to do. So the first thing you want to do is measure the first push down. Take that drawing and just activate it and pull it somewhere. Okay. And then what we're looking for is, hey, is this an ABC? At first it always kind of looks like one, so let me show you. An ABC correction is you're going to do high to low. It's going to pivot in this zone, ideally at the 62% retracement. And then from there, it'll be 1 times the length of A. So it went down, up to the 50 to the 60 retrace. And then if we pull this little drawing, right, and then we move it to where it pivoted from, that'll get you a good C entry. So to label it, A is down. Jesus. Sorry, I'm trying to expand everything so you can see it. A down, B up. This is what I thought at first. I was like, okay, it might be a continuation. And then C back down, and what you'll see is it pivoted right in the C zone, right? So we expected it to pivot at the end of this little green line, which is not gonna fucking give me 47.1. It pivoted at 45.96. Okay, then the next thing I'm looking for is, hey, is this really an ABC correction? Is there enough volume and power to get this to an all-time high, or is this going to be a 5-wave correction? And this is where I was like, oh shit, that's a 5-wave correction, because we failed to ever break through the 61% retracement. They tried here, but there was no volume. So now at this point, right, this turns into a 1 down, a 2 up, a 3, and then a 4, and then 3 is kind of difficult to ever gauge just because it can be extended, but what's easy to gauge is the length of 4. So that's this line, which was, if we do it again, the high to low here. Activate this drawing and put it at 4, and then that's your expected 5 pivot, which again, it's not going to ever be perfect, but 29.1 is what I got for my expected 5 pivot. And we went and pivoted at 22, and now this is an ABC, is my hunch, right? An ABC, again, like this one. So A will be up, or A will be up, B will be down, C will be up. So 5, and then we got A from here. B will be down, and then we can gauge the distance of B because it's going to be in the pivot zone at the 0.6. So this time we did low to high on the retracement. Yeah, you can use them however you want. But if you're expecting a move up, right, for your correction, then you would think it would be here. But C will be up 1 times the length of A. So if we do A's here, we can gauge that C will pivot up to the 35. And then from here, you're just looking for resistances. So instead of 35, you're going to move this to here because that's more likely it'll magnetize to that 34. It's not really much of a difference, but you get what I mean. And then we can kind of anticipate two things, right? One is there could be a wave 5 up, or this could be a full bear market, but I wouldn't touch this one for a while. It's too hot, came too hot too fast. So what I would anticipate would happen would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then all the way back down to 14. But that won't happen until the market opens. Okay, that is support. What's next? AMC. Cool. I got lots of drawings on AMC. So this was an ABC correction. I'm gonna zoom in on it. And then it had a chance to continue here, but we didn't get any volume to kick it in. So it just kind of faded out for the rest of the day. We did see a little volume punch at the end of the day, which is always nice to see. But we closed at 41.95 or 40.95. Honestly, this is a little bit confusing to me because there's two options on it, but essentially this is my read for it. Which gets a little confusing, right? But this is my Elliott wave count on AMC. So this was a 5, right? So we finished wave 3 here, and then we had an A, B, C, D, E correction. So E brought us down to here, and then here's what we're looking at. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's wave 1. Okay, and now A down, B up, C down. But let me just pull back that other blank chart so we can actually see what we're doing. Okay. So 5, and then a correction against it was A, D, and that's right, but whatever. We're just going to skip over to where we were. So over here, this is our wave 1. Now wave 2 generally wave 2 generally retraces 50 to 61.8% of 1. So this range is what I have pivoted here, which is 38 to 36. But it usually has a 3-wave structure, which this does not. A, B, maybe it does, but I don't see it. So I anticipate that we actually see a little more downside to Monday morning. And then Tuesday we should start to really rise. It could bounce off of here, but it's usually the 50 to the 61.8 for wave 2. So it would be a 2 here, and then 3 brings us back to all-time highs, and it'll be quick. The good thing about this is we have very low volume, because low volume is wonderful. It's what you expect in wave 2. We have high volume in wave 1 with the bulls, and then the bears, there's no more sellers. That's terrifying if you're short. So 3 will bring us to all-time highs. This was the wave 1, 2, I'm sorry, this is 3. One, 2, 3, and then 4, 5 happened so quick because that's just a massive day. 4, 5, but Same thing we'll see on this is my anticipation is we'll see a massive explode up to the 88 range for 3 and then possibly 5 up to the 100 plus range. Oh, I just got a lot of people in here. What's up, everyone? JP. Cheers. What are we doing next? Root. I usually chart my options. So with my TOS setup, I have a couple, watch lists. I have a scan list, and then I have my options list. These are all linked to another chart. So if I click on one of them, if I'm charting AMC and I want to trade an option, I'll pull up the option that I'm charting. So I'll go to the trade tab, right click on the option I want, copy it, put it into one of these, and then from over here, I can just click whatever one I want, and it'll pop right up. So this is the 41 call expiring 9/3. Look at the volume that came into it at the very end of the day on Monday. That's a good thing. That's a really good thing, right? That this many people wanted to open this position on Friday afternoon. So that stems into my thesis of the gamma squeeze, is that everyone's going to start buying all these calls, and then there's so much open interest that as the stock starts to rise, the market makers have to delta hedge for it. So you can see that on the whole entire options chain, though. But you wanted me to pull up a comparison, so we can do that too. OPTT, I don't know what that is. I don't trade pennies, sorry, dude. We did BBIG. I'll pull that back up real quick. It just left a bearish channel, and it popped right up. So we have two resistances. One of them already was hit in after hours. We don't know if that'll hold. But I have a mark at $7, and I anticipate that we will close at around, or open around where we finished here at 785. Take a look at Disney. Yeah, but we're gonna do the ones that other people wanted first. So next is BlackBerry. So I did trade some options on BlackBerry. I took profit where my profit take line is. A little short, but nothing's ever perfect in life. Same thing, we're gonna go to a day chart first, kind of see what's going on. Sorry, this is a mess, but BlackBerry I anticipate will go to all-time high this week too, and it could end up at the $45 range. All good things with BlackBerry, honestly. This is a week chart, so next thing we'll do is we'll go to a day chart. I did enter some swings here, and I exited them at this profit take here just because I've been holding them for so long that they were losing their value so quickly that I wanted to get into better ones. So I'm not in it right now, but we're going to go to a 1 hour next, and we'll see what's really going on. So, yeah, obviously I got the timing wrong on that, but this was my entry zone, which is kind of wide. It was from 9.3 up to 10. That's where I was comfortable buying BlackBerry for options. And then my exit was in the 11 range for everything, which is about a 10% move. So if you're trading options, you want to get it when it's in a low IV state and then exit when it's flying. But for BlackBerry, it's going to move very similar to AMC. This was a wave 1. A, B, C, this is a 2. It should be actually entering into 3 soon. 3 will bring us back to the 20 range. Possibly, if we get the volume kick in. So, 3 is somewhere up here. And that should happen sometime next week as well. Very bullish on BlackBerry, very bullish on AMC, not financial advice. Next one, what was that people wanted? What the fuck is a root? Whoa, that thing's running. That's not a pretty chart. So the week chart on root doesn't help us because there's not that much data, but the day chart will do fine. Massive downtrend. We're going to ignore the tops of the candles just because they didn't hit very much. And we're trying to hit as many as we can for this trend, so we'll do a couple. One will be here. One will be here. So these are our resistance lines, and then we're going to see where they coincide. Root, if it breaks through this zone, it has room to run up to here and then here. So profit taking on root, if I'm entering it, I'm looking for $7, $10, and $13, and then after that it has room to run to the 20s. Because this is so old, the resistances won't matter much. This is definitely a downtrend. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not going to get into any of the sub-minute stuff. I'm just going to give you the macros. 5. This does not have to be wave 1. This does not at all have to be wave 1. 5 could be extended. The stock could get bankrupt. But there's a chance, right, if it breaks through that 7, that this is wave 1, and then we'd probably see something move like this. So those are our numbers for root. I'm going to screenshot all these charts at the end of this. I'll put them up on Twitter. Next, we wanted to do Disney. Well, that's a hell of a chart. COVID? Damn. Damn, COVID brought it below its open. That's crazy. Yeah, so Disney looks like it's bullish, actually. How do I know that? What I'm looking at on Disney is the current trend lines. So we have this bullish trend on the day chart, and then for our bearish ones, we have this, right? And then one more. And as soon as it starts to break through these, you can see shorts start to cover, it starts to bounce, and then they found a new trend line, right? So boop, oh, down. And then we're breaking through this. So I actually think Disney's going to pop. That would be sweet. So what are we looking at next? So once you get through the trend lines, and this isn't going to be an Elliott wave one, this is just simple TA. Once you get through the trend lines, you're looking for resistances if you're bullish. So entry-wise, entering at the 175 would be ideal. Not probably going to get that. So the next point we're looking to enter is 179, which we're pretty much trading at. And then profit take-wise on Disney, it would be around 191. So for trading options on that, we would look at the option chain would go to probably October, and then look for the 0.3 delta, which is the 205 call. Copy that, go back to your chart, open your list, put it into your swing side of things, and then click on it. And then we want to see if anyone's trading this. Do you see how so many people started buying this at the end of the day? That's bullish. That's a good thing. People expect Disney to pop. So yeah, I'll keep this on my watch list, actually. Good call on Disney. What do I see? BlackBerry Wave 5. BlackBerry Wave 5, I think will go to probably, it depends how far 3 extends, but BlackBerry Wave 5 could probably hit 45. I like Blink. Let's do that. Oh, I've been doing it already. So, one, on a very macro side, two, it should be entering into wave 3 here, which should bring it back pretty high. Now, why did I do that? I'll do the same thing on AMC real quick. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to delete this. And then if I go to the 1 to the 5 here, I can do low to high on my fib retracement. And then lo and behold, it bounced exactly off the 61. So there is another way to count AMC. This could be 1, this could be 2, and we could be entering into 3. But I just don't think that's the case. I think we're entering into 5 on a cycle level, a primary level. But there is a couple ways to look at it. Either way, this wave should bring us to at least the 90 mark. Cool. All right, we can do a couple more charts here real quick. What do we want? I don't know what this is. That doesn't look good. I'd rather do Riot. If we're gonna do anything Bitcoin related, I'll chart Riot. Riot could be looking at a move to 47 pretty easily. So this is a Bitcoin related stock. It trades really, really well when Bitcoin is doing bad in China because they're an American mining company. They can't keep up with China's super mining. Maybe they're not an American mining company, but anyway, they can't do well if China's super mining's doing well. That's kind of the rule. China stopped really allowing the super mining. So we started seeing these big moves up. And then I'm looking at a channel here because I want to see where it lines up. So if I'm playing Riot, I would look to profit take 42 to 46. And then after that, it kind of doesn't have resistance until 57. But this is a derivative of Bitcoin. So let's go to Bitcoin futures. I am bearish. I don't understand why this thing hasn't gone down yet. I don't count it right, so this is my wave count. So 1, 2, 3. Maybe this was 3 ending here. 4, 5. That could be the case, but I don't think so. I think it needs one more push down. If it's not, this would be 1. 2 needs to come back down. 2 would be, again, I'm going to do the low to the high. 2 would bring us to the 37 mark. So it'd be 2. These are kind of the two paths I see on Bitcoin, but both of them continue down. And then 3 would bring us back to all-time highs. Cool. Clove. Yeah, this fucker. I may have shorted Clover, but I short a lot of shit, so don't get offended. So as soon as it broke through this, I knew it was coming down. So I bought puts, and the reason I said I had this fucker is because I didn't hold them long enough. But yeah, that is a interesting stock to want to play. I wouldn't touch it. Naked? Sure. Yeah. Oh, let's do GameStop. I like that idea. So this is kind of a weird one. GameStop is definitely finished 5-wave push, 100%. And now I'm looking at, let's go to a log chart, just so we could see a little better. So I've been trading GameStop a little bit, and there's kind of a push up I see now to the 229 mark. So let me just redraw it as a new one. I'm not fucking selling. Yeah, didn't work. I went long on GameStop and then they took our buy button away. That one hurt me. That one hurt me hard. So I started along at 329 and it just immediately went down to 75 the next day. I didn't like that. So, but for GameStop here, it's very interesting. Okay, we like that, and we're going to redraw that as a channel. And now here's our major resistance line at 344, again at 273, and again at 229. So why did I draw those lines? Because you can see here we're already losing volume, but it's rising, which is kind of a good thing. So what we want to see is us break over this resistance, and that'll put us right up to the 270 range. Now if it doesn't, it'll come back down to like the 130 range. That's kind of the battle right now on GameStop. So GameStop's kind of at a parabolic moment. If it can break through this range, it has so much room to run. But if it doesn't get the volume it needs to punch through, it's going to get shorted so hard and people will paper hand out. Earnings historically haven't been good to GameStop. So what are we doing with earnings? We look at that for the past 3 times and tanked. Could be good. You never know. Wish. That one's not ideal. So I lost money on Wish a couple times. It really depends how long I've been trading a chart land in. I usually use Elliott wave concepts on everything. So if we go to like let me just show you an ETF real quick because it's super simple to see it on. So A was down, right? We're going to measure the distance of it. Just grab this trend line once you draw it. B should retrace to the 50 to the 61.8. Doesn't have to. Be that high. I mean 50 to the 82% retrace. So for this one, we're doing high to low. And as you can see, it kind of topped out here, but we're not worried about after hours, so we'll turn that off. So A was down, B was up, it pivoted there, and then C was 1 times the length of A. It got oversold, and then it immediately bounced back up. That's on a 1 hour chart. Let's go to a week chart. I could show you the same thing. So this is why Elliott wave concepts are dope, because they work on everything. So A was down, right? A, B, C. Remove all the drawings so we can just show you. So measure A, that's your key, and then draw a fib retracement from the high to the low, and then see if it pivots in this zone, which I conveniently only ever show these for because I really like ABCs. See if it pivots in the zone of this big ass zone, but ideally the blue one, so the 61 to the 78. That's your B. Now, what are we looking for C? 1 times the length of A. So draw that trend line that we just drew, bring it over to B, and then it's not perfect, right? But this is what I mean by gauging your entries better, is that you'll find yourself doing a hell of a lot better. So we would want to have entered here, and then we enter, and you could run for a long ass time. But that's on a week chart showing you the biggest fractal that I ever look at. This was a 5-wave push down. So 1, ready? We failed, right? So I'm going back to my fib retrace. Remember when we needed to come up hard, right, to the 61 plus mark, and then kind of try to finish there, but it didn't even come close. So we'll go to a day chart to show you this one. So look at all the weak ass volume. That's how you know this is bad. This is a bad spot to be in. If you see this big dip and then you see no volume coming back in, that's a liquidity pull. So 1 was down, 2, and then we're gonna measure the length of 1 because it's always dope to have the length of A or 1. So measuring this. And then from 4, right, that's going to be, so 3, and then 4 is your next real push back up, 4, and then 5 will be 1 times the length of 1 on average. So again, that's as simple as it gets, right? So we don't really worry about 3. We see if it's an ABC. If it's not, we're like, oh fuck, let's save our money, and then measure the distance of 1, and then put it at 4. And lo and behold, you would have gotten the absolute bottom if you recognize that. So yeah, I hope that makes a little sense. So an ABC was here. This is a 5-wave correction. You can't really chart this too well because this is just an extended just an extended 3. It's just going forever, and that's allowed to happen in Elliott Wave. But I anticipate that in October we'll see a nice big dip. Please take a look at NNA. What's NNA? Whoa. Whoa. Is it a short squeeze play? It has an options chain. How did it do in after hours? Not too terrible. That's crazy. That's an institution. Some institution was like, oh, let's do it. And they bought in here, and then everyone else was like, oh, yeah, let's do it. And they all bought in here. But this would be a pretty good chance to enter. So ABC, right? A. B, C. And that's not a time prediction, it's just a gauging. So again, high to low with your fib retrace. Did it pivot at the 61% mark? Oh, it sure shit did. And then you can draw your line for A from there, and that'll get you your ideal entry C. All right, what else do we got? I'll do one more and then I'm going to bed. I don't really use my studies that much. Let's see. I don't even think I have the lower ones on. Google, put that into use think script. You'll be able to find it. Okay, yeah. That's an ugly chart. I don't like barcoding. It's getting no volume, man. Shit, it could pop though. So this is where I thought we'd see an ABC, but we didn't. We actually saw the opposite. So this is wave one, and then we're gonna do low to high. And you see how it pivoted off of the 62% retracement? That's what wave 2 usually does. So 1, 2, 3, and then A down. And then can we guess? So we're going to do high to low on this retracement. Sorry, I'm probably going a little fast, but let me expand it. Yeah, this is kind of how my brain works when I look at charts, just so you guys understand that I'm not just saying random fucking numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 is going to be an ABC. So ready? A was down, B came up to the 61. Remember, it's the opposite this time. We're doing high to low. So B came up, and then remember 1 times the length of A is going to be our ideal entry for C. So put a little rectangle. There's your pivot, and here's your pivot. But let's get the bottom one before we draw it. So from B, boom. And then just draw a pivot box, make your box around that line, and that's your ideal entry zone. So C, and this is a much bigger fractal, so it's actually 1 of a larger degree, and now we're in 2 of a larger degree, and then 3 potentially. I'm not sure on that one, don't hold me to that, but it actually looks bullish for Nokia. Fix your financial advice banner advice INQD. What? Oh, haha. No, you fix it. I don't even edit my videos. I don't even look at them. So I'm not gonna watch this video. Sorry. Look at that. It's fixed. Dee Dee, jeez. I don't like China stocks. That's a China stock, right? I don't know what's going on with this one. I doubt it goes much further, but it's kind of risky. It's risky because China stocks aren't doing well. I like BABA much more. Hey. Got crushed. Got crushed. That's nuts. So if this is wave one here, right, we want to do low to high and then see if it pivoted at the 61 retrace mark. It didn't. I kind of went a little lower. Not ideal, but not the worst thing in the world. So now we're going to look at, hey, is it going to double bottom? Will it bounce off the 70 retrace? We don't really know. Home Depot. That's not Home Depot. It's Hudson. No, it's Home Depot. It's a thought. Yeah, I don't like it. Not doing terrible. All right, everyone, we hit an hour. I appreciate y'all stopping by. I wish I was a little better at this. Thank you so much for the entertainment. I am going to go to bed and get a good night's sleep. But if you want, I'll put up those charts that we went through on Twitter, and we can do this more often. No, this is my watch list. Bitcoin, futures, Amazon, Tesla, Netflix, SPY, QQQ, Roku, Zoom, Microsoft, FedEx, Nvidia, GameStop, Splunk, TQQQ, ATVI, Activision, Micron, Snapchat, Citigroup, Hood, Las Vegas Sands, AMC, American Eagle, CRISPR, T-Mobile, Fubo, Sprite, Support, Space, Palantir, Jumia, Microvision, Fisker, Sophie, BlackBerry, SQQQ, Purple Biotech, Metamaterials, Oh, I'm sorry. A bunch of people asked to do metamaterials. We could do that. What the fuck is this? So day chart first. Not beautiful. We're bull flagging though. Yeah, I think it'll run. Just from looking at it, I think it'll run to the next resistance zone, which is $6. That's a big move. So 540 to 6, it would be price target. And then we would actually look for a retracement though. So you see how this run had a retracement? Came right to the 50%. So 1, 2, on a very small degree though, 3. And then we could do the same thing. So 5 will be the gauge of 1 from 4. But 3's not over. 3 will probably extend up to here. And then, so 3, 4, 5. 5 will probably bring us to the 650 mark on this push. So 3 will probably bring us here and then down. So probably something like that. Yeah, I think this will run, honestly. I think that this will continue into tomorrow. So what you would expect for tomorrow on this, if we go to like a 6-minute, is a dip down to the closing level at least. So a yeah, I'd play this tomorrow, honestly. But there's so many other things that I want to play tomorrow. I want to play BBIG tomorrow, to be honest. And then AMC. I think that will come down into this range. Otherwise, we'll pivot right where we are. It could fly tomorrow right from where it is. But no, AMC I think is hitting all-time highs this week, fellas. $7 for BBIG, yeah. I have a market 707. Yeah, I think AMC hits all-time highs this and next week. The derivative chain is just loaded. It's gonna perpetually gamma squeeze like that. The market makers will delta hedge for all the calls that they sold and the puts that they bought, and then the stock will just go boop. And shorts will be squeezed. It'll be beautiful. All right, I'm going to bed. See you, everyone. Thanks for coming.